Alright, so you're going to need some kind of sheet or board. I've just got some poster board here, but this could be any size that you want. I've just chosen this side because it's a size similar size to what I had last year. You'll need some scissors, you'll need some glue, and you'll need all of the little clippings that you made previously. So you're just going to go through all of the little pieces here that you've gathered and just see if anything speaks to you. You may already know or have an idea of what you're looking for, but just kind of, I call this like my first pass. This is a definite for me. Don't forget to look on both sides. Sometimes they're no-brainers. The clock one, for me, no-brainer. That's why I probably have more than one. See, some things I just love. Might not be useful now, but in future years, I might use that. Alright, so the next thing you're going to do is you take your pile and you're going to start placing them loosely around your board. Now, I like to do it in kind of areas, but you could just throw them down anywhere. I kind of tend to like to have a personal, a business, a home, kind of like little sections on the board that I cover. But do whatever works for you. So sections like this where I have a few yoga photos or yoga images, I kind of bunch them together and start to play with kind of themes here. As you find things in this pile now that you know you don't want, these go back into the file that you had earlier. So as you kind of settle into the pieces that you want, this is also a good time to start to trim. Now as you find things like this, where the wording is here, you can just tuck that underneath and then, ta-da, wording has disappeared. Alright, if you've got a kind of semi layout of what you want here, then you're going to start to stick things down. Now, I do this gradually because sometimes I change my mind, but I'm going to start doing that now. Just sticking a few things down and then playing with them and seeing how they fit. So when you start to glue down things that you absolutely know where you want them. So I know that I want something here because I want this to go here, so I'm gonna just kind of figure out where I want things. And I just use plain old glue sticks for this. It doesn't need to be any fancy adhesive. I mean, really, you're just eyeballing this. Nothing needs to be perfect. There is no perfect. Remember here, when all's said and done, it's only glued down. You can glue stuff on top of it. This is never your final version. You can update this at any point during the year. Alright, I'll be back in a bit. Alright, so this I think is my finished vision board. I think. I may find some other things that I want to add on to it. So this is my vision board for 2020. I think it's finished, but if I find some other bits that kind of speak to me during the year, I do tend to add them afterwards, and that's okay. So as you can see, the big thing here in the middle, I typically put my word for the year, and my word for 2020 is consistency. I've added the change maker here. I found it in a magazine. I really liked it. It spoke to me a couple of years ago. I kept it, and it just seemed appropriate for this year. As you can see, I'm very fond of wording. For me, I need more detail, I think, is the thing for me. Alright, I really don't know where to begin, to be honest, with this, but I'm going to start off in this corner. This corner I've left purposefully kind of clear here, breathe in, breathe out, because I want it to be about the breath, the consistent breath, something that we take for granted, and it's something that I struggled with this year. When I had my disease flare up, I noticed that I wasn't breathing into my right rib cage. So that is why I have it in pain management, just breathe. Yoga is more than a class, it's a way of life. I want it to be more of a daily practice and something that I share as a practice, not just a physical practice. I've incorporated a arm balance here, and I've added this specifically because I want to practice more arm balances and more challenging poses, as well as practicing more meditation and more quiet time. This one serves a couple of purposes that we'll see up in the top right corner in my home section. So this is just about taking time to consistently enjoy the quiet time. The time in my garden, the time on the patio that I love just kind of being out there, and not taking for granted those times. Next year I want to do a lot more reading, so I've added reading on here. I want to do a lot more photography, painting and drawing, so more kind of creativity in general. So this corner here is all about my health, being open to finding alternative therapies. So I've got down here an ultimate healing journey. I want to eat more real foods, learn how to cook more real foods, and being open to different healing modalities, whether that's aromatherapy. I want to try acupuncture this year. So just being more open to different modalities of healing. I also liked on here the card. I want to start reading tarot more this year, so that was on there for that. I want to schedule playtime. I know that sounds kind of stupid, but quite often I get just bogged down with just day-to-day stuff that I don't schedule downtime. And then I end up burning out, and that's not good for anybody. I love the clock. I had that last year, and it's probably something that I'll probably have for another couple of years. I just love the fact that it's an indicator of how time goes. Quite often we misjudge the time that's needed for things. Sometimes something will take 2 minutes and we think it's going to take like 30. So this is 2 minutes to start your day right. Just as you brush your teeth in the morning, it's just taking, if it takes less than 2 minutes, just do it now. That's going to be my kind of mantra for the year going forward. Simplicity here, I want to focus more on reducing the stuff in the house. Garden is going to be a huge one for this year because I want to work on getting the garden sorted out and consistently being out there and doing it every weekend. So whether that's just tidying up, sweeping, weeding, whatever I need to do. Sustainability, I've added because that's something that I want to do this year as a challenge, and the challenges are down here. I want to do multiple challenges for 4 weeks, so monthly challenges, and sustainability is going to be one of them, using less plastic and just generally reducing my impact on the planet, which kind of goes back down to yoga being more than a class but a way of life. So then we get on to more of the business area, and this one kind of expands through the top here. So I've got personalize the experience, because when I open up and I allow myself to be vulnerable, I seem to really connect with people, but it scares the living crap out of me. You got this. Put it out there. If it resonates with people, great. If it doesn't, they weren't meant to be in your tribe anyway, right? Join us online. My goal for this year is to transition a little more online. So YouTube is going to be a big thing this year, and my website. I really struggled this year when I had some health challenges. So I want to be able to do content when I feel well, and really batch my content, and then work on kind of drip feeding that out and kind of storing it for when I don't feel well. Trust your truth goes back to personalize the experience, because you're going to resonate with people somehow, and your people will be drawn to you. So here we've got this woman doing a yoga pose, and this is something that I want to start incorporating. Not this yoga pose, I can't do this, but it's just taking 5 minutes to just take a photo before classes. Just taking 5 minutes to be on my phone and communicating and connecting with people. So it's always be ready, focus on 5-minute marketing. It's just taking 5 minutes out of your day to get something done. We come down here to fitness, and my goal is to start moving a little bit more and doing more strength work as well as my yoga. So my goal is to sort of document this and work it into a series on my YouTube channel. So stay tuned for this. I used to do a lot of workout videos, and this is something that I kind of want to focus on moving forward, is how can I give people the tools and the exercises that's needed to help their yoga practice, so that they can meditate and enjoy life in general. So 2020, the year of consistency. Will you stop clattering about? Clitter clatter.